A Hanoi night in July. Heavy rain poured down the small alley near Long Biên Bridge. People avoided mentioning that name. The Headless Soldier. A photo, a shadowless footstep, and a whisper from the past opened a chain of events beyond logic. Today, you will join me in entering the darkness, where history has not yet rested, and the soul has not yet been named. It had been raining since the afternoon, and by night it had turned into a downpour. The drops of water falling on the gray stone pavement made all sounds muffled and oppressive. The wind blowing from the west lake blew cold air through every corner. Tong 9 Street was still lit, but that light was not enough to dispel the gloomy feeling that was lingering around. The small alley connecting to the old quarter near Long Biên Bridge, which used to be an army gathering place during the Resistance War, was now covered with moss. With patchy walls and tangled electric wires, locals passed on the word that this place should not be set foot on the night of July 27. The spirit returns, they said, finding something unfinished. Books Nam, a final year student of the History Department, University of Social Sciences and Humanities. He is thin, wears glasses, has a bright face but is always pensive. Nam's graduation thesis is Urban Legends and Community Memories, a topic that is both academic and tinged with mystery. To complete the opening chapter, Nam decided to take field photos at places with long-standing legends, and the alley along Long Biên Bridge is the final destination. Nam has never believed in ghosts, but he believes in memories, in untold stories. With an old camera, a notebook and a strong spirit of exploration, Nam arrived at that alley at nearly 10 p.m., just when the wind started to pick up. The roadside tea shop had only one low-hanging yellow light bulb. The old man selling tea was pouring tea into a cracked porcelain cup. He was wearing a baseball cap, an old raincoat. His eyes were old and sharp. Nam walked in, sheltered from the rain, and asked for permission to interview question. He looked at Nam for a long time, then said, "If you want to know what's going on here, don't turn your back when it starts." When asked, "Then you have to dare to listen." Nam nodded. He opened his notebook and asked, "This alley used to be a military station during the war, right?" The old man nodded, telling each detail clearly. The location of the old gate, the unit that was stationed, the years 1946 to 1954. There was a battalion that suffered heavy losses. Among them, there was a missing soldier. The body was not found. Only the steel helmet was found lying in a pool of blood. Sparkles while the old man was telling. Nam took a few pictures of the tea shop, the alley, but when he checked the camera, a picture appeared that made his heart stop. A figure wearing a Resistance-era military uniform, standing with his back to the lens. That person had no head. Nam woke up from a chaotic dream. He saw himself standing in the middle of a battlefield filled with artillery smoke. There were screams, names being called, and ear-piercing whistles. The soldier in the old uniform, without a head, walked past him, slowly, leaving a long trail of blood on his face land. Nam woke up, covered in sweat. The clock showed exactly 3 a.m. Since taking the photo in that alley, Nam has been haunted by dreams. The phone automatically opens the album. The camera sometimes turns on without touching it. The glass of water on the desk moves a few centimeters. There were nights when Nam saw the door to his room just ajar, even though he clearly remembered it was locked. Phone that morning, Nam called Lin, the motorbike taxi driver who had taken him across Long Biên Bridge, also a longtime close friend. Lin's voice on the phone was broken. "Last night, I saw someone standing in the apartment building yard looking up at my room. I'm on the 10th floor. How could he see so clearly?" Nam fell silent. That night, Lin went missing. Open folder reopening the strange photo. Nam zoomed in on every detail. On the soldier's lapel, there was a blurred badge. Nam brought it to the old man selling water. The old man was silent for a long time. Then he reached out and pulled out an old wooden box from under the table. In the box was a black and white photo. along with a piece of paper that had turned yellow with time. "His name is Tran Ban Duc," the old man said, his eyes never leaving the photo. "Died at Dien Bien in 1954. The artillery attack cut across the formation. Duc lost his head. His body was not intact, and no one could find the upper part of his body." Nam shuddered. The old man continued. "Later, people built a house on the place where he might have been buried. No one verified it, but 3 people who had lived there all died in very strange circumstances, hanging themselves, jumping off buildings, disappearing without a trace. Fog following each detail. Nam discovered a military report stating that Tran Ban Duc carried a K-44 gun engraved with his name, along with a letter written to his mother in Nguyen, which never reached her hands. Nam decided he had to find that gun, that letter, and if possible, the remains of the soldier. Nam returned to the alley with a single goal: to end the long-standing obsession. After months of searching for documents and interviewing veterans, Nam tracked down the K-44 gun engraved with the name Tran Ban Duc and the letter written to his mother. The last thing missing was the soldier's head, which was said to have been violated when residents built houses on the old land. Derelict house. That house is now abandoned. The owner moved out after many strange phenomena: water flowing backwards, footprints appearing on the ceiling, whispering voices in the bathtub. Nam decided to break in at exactly midnight. As he stepped through the doorway, everything became unusually quiet. In the room that had once been a bedroom, there were signs that someone had tried to dig something up and then abandoned it. Nam used a flashlight to shine down, and discovered a piece of human skull mixed with dirt and sand. Prayer beads. A cold breeze blew past. The door suddenly closed. Heavy footsteps echoed. Nam turned his head. No one. But the mottled wall began to bleed. On it appeared the words in black charcoal: "I need to go back." Red envelope. Nam placed the gun, the letter and the skull in the red scarf that the old man had given him. He buried them in the empty land behind Long Biên Bridge, where the trenches used to be. As he quietly spread the dirt, the sound of gunfire and the shouts of battle echoed from afar like a final memorial. When dawn broke, the rain stopped. The wind also stopped. Nam returned to his room. All the furniture was safe. The phone no longer turned on by itself. He opened the photo album again, and the picture of the Headless Soldier disappeared. Instead, there was an old black and white photo: Tran Ban Duc smiling with his comrades. Mailbox. A week later, Nam received a package from Nguyen. Inside was a handwritten letter from Tran Ban Duc's mother's nephew, saying that they had just received the memorabilia letter and that someone, young, wearing glasses, speaking with a Hanoi accent, had put it in the mailbox last night. Nam had never been to Nguyen. Fog. Nam looked up at the sky. On July 27th, there were footsteps walking by, this time gentle, peaceful, and never coming back. If the story of the Headless Soldier makes you shiver, click like to support and share with those who need to know that not all souls have slept. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to discover other urban legends, where the past may still be watching you.